wow, I think we reached peak stupidity for 2018 in the gaming sphere. But yeah, you might want to hide your waifus and lock the doors, because Steam is coming for you. But on a serious note, apparently the Great Weeb the Great Weeb Purge is on the horizon due to activist groups. Several activist groups, or at least one activist group anyway, who has claimed credit for this. But me personally, I'm not a fan of the graphic novel games, I guess the best way to put it. Reading manga and comic books and things like that, that's a different thing. Well, I mean, technically, I guess it's the same. I don't engage in, downloading the graphic novels and stuff from Steam, but I know there are plenty of people who do. There's nothing wrong with them at all. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, except for it's, as a comic book, except for it's more interactive, and you can do things and pick stuff and have dialogue choices, things like that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I mean, essentially, it's a game you run with just the mouse, and if that's what you want to do to relax, who am I to judge you otherwise? But, unfortunately, apparently several of these graphic novels are facing removal from Steam. Apparently, games like Honey Pop and others, which don't really violate Steam's guidelines or rules, have been threatened with removal for doing just that. And what would be a violation of these rules? Of course, graphic sexual content and, I think a lot of nudity would work. The only problem is, it seems more, this whole little purge thing seems to be more geared towards your 2D women, your anime style of visual novels, because you've got things like The Watcher 3 and Grand Theft Auto out there, where there is nudity and sex and other things, in a mature title, of course, but they're not getting hit with these bans for removals. And that is kind of startling, that it's only really going after one particular group there. But the activist group who has claimed, success over getting these things apparently removed is the National Center of Sexual Exploitation, the NCSE, I guess is their abbreviations. But apparently they've been adding things like Steam and YouTube to this thing called a Dirty Dozens list, which it's the first time I ever really heard of it. Or I think it is. I don't think I've ever heard of it before. Chances are most people normal people probably never have, to be totally honest. But Honey Pop did send out a tweet, and it is, I quote, "Important notice, I've received an email from Valve stating that Honey Pop violates the rules and guidelines for pornographic content on Steam, and will be removed from the store unless the game is updated to remove said content." But like I was saying earlier, you've got things like The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto, and other games that are on Steam that do actually have pornographic content in them. Meanwhile, Honey Pop really doesn't. I mean, it's got pictures and, you could go on the lewd side of things, but as for straight-on porn, they don't have that. But anyway, really, when it comes down to it, you've got a bunch of pearl-clutching, moral high guardians somewhere. They're so small in number, but they can scream so loudly and throw their feet in the air and kick and scream and all this other stuff to the point that they sound like a much larger group than they actually are. And that is a damn problem. Seriously, something needs to be done about that. I don't know if maybe the rest of us should just actually... I guess that would work. They say one thing, we hear about them saying it, and then everybody should be in just droves. Go ahead and contact and say, yeah, not me. It's fine by me. It's okay to me. And let's just see how easily we can drown them out without even having to yell to drown them out. We could probably outnumber them easily if everybody started tweeting these people who they're complaining to, like Valve, and just say, this game's fine by me. There's nothing wrong here. And see how quickly we could drown them out. That would be kind of cool. But let's get into this. Many games on the Steam platform promote themes of sexual violence, exhibition, rape, and depict nudity and graphic acts. When video games including sexual graphics and degrading themes, the user is not only a voyeur, but an active participant in staging the scene. As our society suffers from the consequences of campus sexual assault, military sexual assault, rise child-on-child sexual abuse, we see the normalizing the sexual use and often abuse of others in video games is irresponsible of a corporate and a social level. And that is coming from the NCSE. I'm assuming that's their abbreviations. That's just what I'm going to go with. But that's one of their statements. But anyway, essentially, if it happens in a video game, it's going to happen in real life. What they're getting to is the whole, if the video game is violent, the person playing it is going to be violent and apparently do what is done in the video game, which has been proven now to not be true. Really, it's just a bunch of moral busybodies who think their morality is better than the rest of us, when really we just want to sit down, play a game, and relax and unwind for a bit, regardless of what's in it. But when it comes down to it, these people just don't like the idea of wrongthink. If you think something other than us, of course it's wrong. I mean, as they stated, and apparently many games on the Steam platform promote sexual violence and graphic sex acts and all this other stuff, which really isn't the truth at all. What it is they seem to think that it somehow is a gateway into something else. The idea of violent video games make people go out. No, you play Grand Theft Auto, that means you're going to go out and start shooting up a place. And it's the same thing, same argument with this exactly. If you sit here and play this graphic novel and you court whoever or whatever it is that's happening in this graphic novel, that you're going to go out and do things exactly as it was done in this graphic novel, as if somehow that is real life when it's not. But I think the worst part is the fact that Steam seemed to have caved to these people more than anything. Considering Steam has been filled with things like asset flips and other stuff everywhere, it's hard to go through. And considering I do a lot when I do get games through the Steam storefront, at least it's something I got on a wish list somewhere because I've been wanting to get it. Trying to go through and find something completely new that I've not played, that is not like a lot of people are after or whatnot. Trying to get through a lot of that crap sucks, considering it's mostly asset flips and the like, and shovelware, and I mean, heck, I've heard some games don't even apparently have the common sense to give you an executable to even make them work. And Steam doesn't really do a whole lot of cleaning up their own storefront to have them cave to a bunch of screaming children about a game that they don't like when they don't even have to look at the thing. Because instead of just ignoring it and go on, they feel if they don't like it, nobody can play with it kind of thing. And that is something we need to put a stop to. But anyway, these kind of people have their own radical morality set up. It's written down for all to see. They're going to sit there and claim other things aren't as good as them. like Facebook, YouTube, Steam, and other stuff, while at the same time using said programs and applications and fronts to push out their own thing while simultaneously bashing it in the head with their, whatever the heck it was list that I can't even remember now. Which honestly feels a little bit hypocritical in a way. If you're going to sit there and bash on different things, especially a website, for this, that, and the other, and then turn around and use it and promote it to other people. Hey, follow us here. Like us here. So they can, keep in touch with you and subscribe to your really warped sense of morality that you feel like you need to impose on every other living creature in the world. But really, I don't really know what to even do about it. They're going to lock themselves in their own echo chamber, which they have. They're not going to listen to reason. The second you say something and go, but what about X? They'll block you. Or they'll run around with their heads, run around like a chicken with their head cut off, claiming that they've been harassed. Or they're being attacked. Because it tends to be how they react when it comes to actual criticism. But, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below how you feel about this. A small fringe morality whatever group is now going to get a whole subsection of games, a whole genre of games, possibly removed from Steam. How do you feel about that? What would you do? Are you going to do anything? Or are you just going to grumble about it and go on? Anyway, let me know down in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.